Do you know what this is? This is toxic lead shot ammunition. And I, Kevin Keller, am going to inform you about the dangers that this has on the environment, the health of animals, and the health of humans. This should only be used when hunting upland games like pheasants and quail. There are regulations on it that say you cannot use this when hunting wetland animals like quail or like ducks and geese. Because when lead gets into the water, it can cause very serious issues involving the environment and the health and safety of the animals. Toxic lead shot is very harmful to our environment in many different ways, from the conditions of the water to how poisonous it is to the animals and how it affects us as humans. Let's start with a very serious issue of how it affects the water conditions. According to lead.org, lead can enter the ground through the topsoil. When shot, lead has many different BBs and they will all hit the ground eventually, one way or the other. And when it rains, the ground will soften, and which will cause these BBs to get into the groundwater, which then could be consumed by us as humans, or it could be used in irrigation to water the crops like corn or beans, which then could cause serious problems according with lead poisoning. And lead can also stay at the bottom of a waterbed, according to KMAE Journal. This is very, very, very serious because once the lead is in the water, it won't go away, which causes fish or other aquatic animals to consume these lead BBs, which will cause them to have lead poisoning, and then if they're consumed by other animals, will transfer this lead poisoning onto them. And only one of these BBs is enough to cause brain damage or nervous system issues. We've had many problems with this lately with the consumption with the predators' consumption of aquatic animals like frogs and fish. Eagles have been a very big part of this. According to the Sioux City Journal, this has been happening a lot lately. The animal will consume a lead BB that has been in the water for a while because they don't go away, and they might just be hungry for food and they might think it's food, so they eat it. And then a predator like an eagle will come down and eat the fish or the frog or any other aquatic creature, and then causes that bird to get lead poisoning and then have very serious brain damage, nervous system issues, or maybe even death. Which is really sad to see a national icon like the bald eagle to suffer from this when it could all be prevented. Lead shot can be transferred in many different ways and can sometimes get into the food we eat and the water we drink. Lead can cause brain damage and nervous system problems, behavioral issues, and reproductive issues, and many more things according to according to lead.org. And we can get this from even from the lead fragments that are left in animals that are cleaned, because you cannot fully clean an animal that has been shot with lead shot according to the Humane Society. Or these issues can even come from even the lead dust when shot. The one shot this ammunition. And it affects children more than adults, so just make sure you're careful when or if you're using this. Toxic lead shot is very dangerous to not only the environment, animals, but also us as humans. You could prevent the usage of toxic lead shot, and because it is very harmful, So just refrain from the usage of it and where you use it. Just make sure you use it where permittable, and make sure you just check the rules according to Iowa DNR. Or just the DNR in general, because they're the ones who put out the rules for this across the entire United States. Toxic lead shot is very harmful to our environment in many different ways, from the conditions of the water to how poisonous it is to animals and how it affects us as humans. Thank you for listening.